electronic components, we are here with different type of microcontrollers and microprocessors, their advantages, differences and much more. In this video, we're going to learn about basic knowledge about microcontroller, that what actually microcontroller is. So let's start with this. Well, here we have diagram showing you the fundamental components which we require to make any appliance work. It consists of processor, or we can say CPU, next memory, input-output ports and timers. Let's take an example of microwave for understanding these components. So our first component is CPU, or say processor. Its work like a brain for any system. Its main work is to fetch the instruction, decode them and lastly execute. As in our microwave, we set the temperature and time for our dish to be cooked perfectly. For that, processor fetch the code from memory and decode it to perform different tasks, like to maintain the temperature, display the time, on and off heaters, rotate the dish, and many more. So processor is most important component for structure, as we human also are nothing without our brain. So our next component and the second component is memory. It contains both the memory, ROM and RAM. As we know, ROM is read-only memory and is non-volatile in nature. So it is used to store program, and RAM is volatile in nature, so used for storing current data. So here question is why we use RAM and ROM both. Because if your program is stored in RAM memory, then you can use your microwave only once if you get it in running state. And you have to give it power supply every time everywhere, which sounds like impossible, because if you power off your microwave, your data will be erased from RAM, and next time when you want to open it again, you have to write and transfer the code again and again. Imagine your situation, because this is not only on microwave. This will also apply on your TV, AC, washing machine and many more appliances at your home. So our ROM is used to store the program and tasks for microwave, and RAM contains the current temperature, time, heat and etc. Let's move on to the next component, that is input-output ports. We need one input port to supply and adjust the temperature and time for our dish in microwave through different buttons on it, and requires output port so that it can display us the time, because if nothing is displaying, then how we know the completion of the task. Last but not the least, timer, which performs the clock functions, modulation, pulse generation, etc. Its main purpose is to maintain the delay between two events. As in microwave, you put your food, shut the door and set the time for the 30 seconds and press start. When you press start, heaters get on and process go on for next 30 seconds, and after that heaters get off. So here processor gives the work to timer that it has to count up to 30 seconds and gives a return signal to the processor to off the heaters. So here one question is arise, that why we not use software delay, that is providing delay in our program and reduce the cost as well as power supply for this extra chip. But here comes the main advantage of timer, that it makes processor free to perform another task. Suppose if we remove timer for our microwave and put our food, shut the door and set the time for 30 seconds. And after 30 seconds, when we open the door, we get the same output as we give microwave as input. Because for software delay, we have to apply a loop, so when we press start, our processor goes in a delay for 30 seconds and doesn't perform its another task to turn the heaters on, maintain the temperature, displaying the time, rotate the dish, etc. So timer is also a very important part of this structure, as it performs its task of maintaining delay, and processor is free to perform rest of the task. So all these components are essential to perform a task. But our microwave, washing machine, remote controls, etc. are not so big in size so that a motherboard can fix inside them. And we don't have any option to remove any one component from these. So what if all these come in a small chip? Yes, microcontroller is that small chip which contains all these components in a fixed amount. So basically microcontroller is really a mini computer, as it already contains all components which allow it to operate standalone, and it has been designed and programmed to control or monitor a specific task. So the next question is where this microcontroller is used. Well, we are surrounded with the things which have microcontroller in it, as our microwave, fridge, washing machine, TV, its remote, AC and its remote, and many more. Because all these things performed a specific task. So, what are the main advantages of microcontrollers? The first one is that the microcontroller acts as a microcomputer without any digital parts. Second, easy to design and having low cost and small size. Third, easily interface additional RAM, ROM, input-output ports. Now, the thing having advantages also have disadvantages, that it only perform limited number of executions simultaneously, cannot interface high power devices directly, mostly used in micro equipments, not the bigger one, and microcontrollers have got more complex architecture than that of others. Now, it's done with the basic knowledge of microcontrollers for microprocessors and the differences between microprocessor and microcontrollers. We will be right back with our next video. Thanks for watching.